Okay, so now it's time for us to transition between scenes. So we're gonna implement the behavior to transition from the menu scene to the game scene, and from the game scene to the menu scene. Okay, so to do that, we're going to create a new script. So we're gonna go to the scripts folder, and in the scripts folder, we're going to create a new folder, and let's call this folder menu scene. So we know that the scripts in here belong to the menu scene, and inside this folder, let's create a C# script called menu manager, like this. We can open the C# script, and inside here we're going to delete the update method, and we're going to create a public method for when the play button is pressed. So public void on play button pressed. It's a good idea to create the methods so that they describe what happens inside, so it's easier for you to know what they do. Okay, so on play button pressed, in this method we're going to actually transition from one scene to the other. So first of all, we need to use the library scene management. So using Unity engine dot scene management. Okay, and inside here we have to say scene manager dot load scene, and in here we can type in the index of the scene, or we can type in the name of the scene. We know the name, so we know that the name of the scene is game, so we want to load the game scene. So if we go back to Unity, we have to do some little things. The first little thing that we need to do is that we need to create an empty object, and we have to call this object menu manager, just like we did in the game scene. We can reset the position of this new object, and now we have to add a component to this object, and the component is going to be the menu manager script. Okay, so now we have the script attached to the component, so it will work. And now what we have to do is that we need to go to our play button in the canvas, and here where it says on click, we need to click the plus button, and we need to pass in our menu manager as the object, and then we have to select the script, which is menu manager, and then we select the method, which is the on play button press method. Alright, so there's one more last thing that we need to do. Let's go here where it says file and select build settings, and then in here you can see the scenes that we have in our game. For now, the only scene that we have is the game scene. So if you click here where it says add open scenes, it will add the scene that is open right now. Right now our menu scene is open, so if we click add open scenes, our menu scene will be added to the game. Now what we have to do is that we can reorder the scenes like this. We can select, we can click and hold scenes menu, and we can drag it up. So it's the first one. The change in here, what happens is that if you put menu the first one, then the index of menu is going to be 0 and the index of game is going to be 1. That's what changes. The index changes. But we're accessing our game scene with the name, not with the index, so it's okay. Alright, so now everything should work. So let's click play, and if we hit the play button, we should instantly load the game scene. And now the only thing that we need to do is that when we die, we need to be able to go back to the menu scene. So by pressing menu, we should be able to go back to the menu scene, but right now nothing happens. So to fix this, we'll go back to the scenes folder, and we'll select our game scene, select save, and then in here what we need to do is that we need to add a behavior to the menu button that's inside the game over panel. But to do this, first of all, we need to define this behavior. So to define the behavior, let's go to the game manager, to the game manager script, and inside the game manager script, after the definition of the OK button pressed, we're going to create a method of type void called on menu button pressed, like this. And inside this method, we're going to do something similar. We're going to say scene manager dot load scene, and we're gonna type in menu, like this, because menu is the name of the scene that we want to load. So now that we have the behavior defined, we can go back to the Unity editor, and we can select our menu button, and here where it says on click in inspector, we can click this plus button and add our game manager object, and then select the game manager script and select on OK on menu button pressed. Alright, so now if we hit play and we play the game scene and we die, we should be able to go back to the menu and to the scene and to the game scene and to the menu scene. Okay, so we have successfully transitioned between scenes. In the next section, we'll cover how to create animations and smooth transitions so the game looks a lot more professional. I'll see you in the next section.